All right, guys, welcome back to the Imaxit YouTube channel. I'm your host JD, or one of the host for today. And as you can see, Mr. Jason on the other side. We're going to be talking about the Jamaica Reggae Boyz Concacaf Gold Cup 2023 preliminary roster. We're going to ask a few questions. You guys could ask a few questions as well. All right, so Jason, big up. How you doing, man? How you doing?
Big up JD there, exciting day. We've
Yeah.
been waiting for some names to be on a piece of paper. Well, I won't say
Oh,
we.
thank you very much.
I
Thank you
have
very
been
much. That's nice
excited to
correction.
see some names on a piece of paper. So just glad to see some names now and able to chop it up and see what people think, and definitely have a few questions that I would like to pose to you and to the people that tune in for the show.
All right. Seems like you already got everything up together, up to speed and ready because you're on big professional host now. All right. So let me give some people in the chat some bless up. So Stefan, big up on yourself. Thanks for being here. Massive respect. Mr. United in the building. Best documentary. And then we said Black Jesus. Okay, Black Jesus. All right. So we have 20 people already in the chat. Please get with the 20 likes. I'm gonna share the video around and they know the thing goes. Let me try and aim for 200 likes on this because it's a special occasion and people draw me out of my bed. I was going to my bed after my last stream. So 200 likes. And then maybe I will start coming out of my bed a little bit more often. Know yourself, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Daniel and Marvin. All right, a lot of people coming in. Jeff Nicholson. So let me know, guys, what you guys believe with the prelim roster. That's the first thing. Just give your take in the comment section. What you think about it. Let me know. Yeah, Jason. Take it away, brother. Let me continue.
Yeah. So the prelim roster, I see you have it on the screen there. Thanks for that. So people, as you're watching, just follow along. If you haven't seen the squad, I know the news has been out maybe a few hours now. I saw it on the Concacaf website, went straight to it. And the first thing that I thought when I saw it was, the end goal for this preliminary roster is obviously to come up with a 23-man roster. And just based on me looking at the list, I was able to build a 23-man squad that I would feel good going into the World Cup with. Now, of course, until that day comes, my list, won't be the official list. It will just be what I want to see. But at least a positive for me of this list is I was able to look at it and
You want
make
me
a
to go through
23.
you want me to go through all the names first if that's
Um,
important? So
yeah, I think
people
I
know.
think that's good for the context of the conversation. Let's
Yes,
just go
because a
through
lot
and
of
see
people
who is on it.
yeah, a lot of people like to listen as a podcast as well. So I'm just going to give them the privilege. All right. So here they started with the goalkeeper Corey Adai, Colin Anderson, which is a forward, Mikel Antonio from West Ham, Luke Badley Morgan from Stoke City, England, Leon Bailey from Aston Villa, Amari Bell from Luton Town, Dishan Bernard from Portsmouth FC, Andre Blake from Philadelphia Union, Connor Boyce Clark from Reading FC, Javane Brown from Vancouver Whitecaps, Corey Burke from New York Red Bulls, United States, Atafarai and Bygrave from Mount Pleasant, Jamaica. Then we have Ronaldo Cephas from KF Scoopy or whatever his name is, Fitzroy Cummins from Veer United, Junior Flemings from Toulouse FC France, Kemar Faster from Waterhouse FC, Ian Frey from Inter Miami CF, Omari Hutchinson from Chelsea FC, Damarai Gray from Everton, Daniel Green, Wesley Arden from Rotterdam United, Michael Hector, Daniel Johnson, Richard King, Amal Knight, Kevin Lambert, Joel Latibodier, and Kemar Lawrence for the first page. Let me go through the second page for you guys. We have Greg Lay from Ipswich Town, Dexter Lembekisa, Damian Lowe, Jamal Lowe, Adrian Mariappa, Ravel Morrison, Shamar Nicholson, O'Shane Staple, Kaheem Paris, Damari of Phillips, Ethan Pinnock, Alvas Powell, Bobby Reed, Dujan Richards, Kemar Roof, Jonathan Russell, Delano Splatt, Chavante Stewart, Ricardo Thomas, Jamali Waite, Lamar Walker, and Devon Speedy Williams. All right, so that is the list. We will go through it next time as well. But let me continue off with Jason, and then we will have that conversation, and then we'll come back to the chat. All right, so Jason, go ahead. We come back to the chat right after.
Yeah, so obviously, whenever a squad is selected for anywhere in the world, don't let people feel you and say that only Jamaicans scrutinize these lists. This is something that everybody does. Obviously, the first thing that you want to ask is, are there any glaring omissions from the list? Is there anybody that is not there that you are wondering, how is this person not in this list, even if it's a provisional list? Is there anybody that jumps out to you in that regard, JD?
Yes, Andre Gray. Because if he would have not made a 23, I would like to see him on a provisional list because he had played better than majority of our strikers this year. So the fact that he's not on it, I think that's question to ask. To be honest, in terms of just that one, Andre Gray, because I do believe that we don't possess so much older players. You understand?
Yeah.
Natural older player, link up play, and he does that well for Jamaica. So if we don't have Mikel Antonio, we have to drop down to a Chevante Stewart. You understand me? And I do
Yeah.
believe that Andre Gray is up there just like Mikel Antonio and the older player. If not, he's the best older player for us. So that is the only surprise one I saw so far, and I never heard him. You know?
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there. I think in that number nine role, back to goal type of player, um, you'd say Antonio and you said Trevante Stewart. I would say probably also Corey Burke, even though we don't usually deploy him there. I think he could do that role as well. But Andre Gray, I think, would be up there with Antonio in that type of attribute, right? The back to goal, hold up type of player. And also, if you look at Andre Gray's goal scoring when he plays for Jamaica, he has a very good return. So, that's another thing that you could say Jamaica always can use more goals. So, yeah, I think that he's one that you would say maybe his inclusion is a bit, his not including is a bit puzzling. Yes, I would agree with you there.
All right, so let me jump and take some comments because the person sending them in. Daniel says, big up to you, man. People as they come in, we have 105 here. Just get the likes up because what it does, it gets the visibility up so we can actually continue the show and maybe end it earlier as well because sometimes you know the thing go. It's getting later and stuff. So let me just get everything running. All right. So as you come in, you hit like button and make a comment. Marvin, Ferran, big up yourself. Jeff Nicholson, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Damien says big up, big up. All right. Africans, massive respect. Thanks for being here. Gaza said, big boss, after the live, me link you. All right. Gaza for life. All right. Jeremy and Blake, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Then we have Faro Chucking said 23-man selection is going to be interesting. No, not necessarily. We are going to get into that as well. That's why I want to spread it over a time. So I want to make sure everyone get involved. I think this is a squad with players with passport and visa for USA. All right. I don't necessarily think that's the case, but let's see. Bygrave makes the roster over Andre Gray. I know I just said my piece, Island Card, big up yourself, thanks for being here. Exout King, Green, Alvas Powell, and all the JPL low quality overseas developed in Jamaica, and to God be the glory. Dima said he loves the squad. All right, perfectly fine. Defensive look good. All right, nice. So why Andre Gray and Roberts don't get a call up? I don't understand. We're going to get into that as well. Jason, in terms of Roberts, you thought that
Yeah,
Roberts should have been on this list?
I think he could have been for sure. He's one that maybe didn't jump out to me as quickly as Andre Gray, but that is why I have to respect the chat because that is a name that when you really look at the squad and you think of Roberts and you think of the development that Roberts can have in the next, you'd say 3 to 5 years. He's a player that you would want around the top team, even if it's just for the provisional squad. That's the perfect type of player for this type of squad. So yes, that is a puzzling one as well, especially since if you want to have some type of continuity
All right, Jason looks like his internet giving him a little bit of problem, but yes, I would
It
do
doesn't make sense. He's not there.
okay. You back, Jason. You cut out for a little while, just a while ago. All right.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes, but you're talking about continuity on the player,
Yeah,
so you can
so
continue from
just the
there.
fact, yeah, just the fact that he was already involved in squads with us, you would think that for a provisional squad with the main players, just another chance for him to develop among the likes of the Antonios and the Baileys and the Pinups in training and stuff. That is
Yes,
important. So I would
I
have
would
wanted
agree.
him to be involved.
I would agree with you. You know why I would agree with you? Wolves is a registered Premier League club. And I've heard them out of their own mouth say that he has made the step up to the next level and they are looking to further him. That's why they gave him a contract. And the last time he came in, he impressed on the field. All right. So I would say between that, I would be because remember we have players on the field on this listing that we are not sure of as yet what they are going to really turn out to be. So if this team already in the English Premier League telling you that he has made a few steps and we think that it's warranted for we to give him a contract and not let him go, I would say that he deserves a spot in this one. So I would go with the Tyler Roberts from majority of the people inside the chat as well. O'Neill Reed, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Brother Damario Phillips, not at that level as yet. Okay, no problem. Remember, it's a provisional and we're having a conversation. So let me keep it respectful and just do a thing. All right. Big up yourself. Robert is in the U20 team, but Faro Chucking, Robert is doing better than people on this list in football. So we can't say he could not make this team when he's doing better than majority of the players them that we see picked on the team itself. So it's remember we're just saying it's just who we thought would have come through. All right. Dima says yes, Andre is a big miss. All right. So you see people agree with us. All right. Big up yourself, Joseph Brown. Solid squad coming from Realist Youth. All right. Happy for Cephas. All right. But just Dima, remember that this is not the final one. This is the one that listed here. You're happy for him to have just to be in the coach's starts. That's what you're saying. All right. All right. Bless up DNA. Oh, you're doing, man. Midnight Cowboy. Jesus Christ. What's up with these names? Chris Smith says, can't believe Whisper in the team over Andre Gray. But this is what will start the war in the chat, Chris Smith. Let we just chop it off. Don't put the Andre Gray on it. You think it's justified for Whisper to get selected in the list? Let me know in the comment section, guys. You think it's justified for Whisper to be selected in this provisional list? We're not going to put the rivalry of the Andre Gray because sometimes Chris Smith says some things and then it'll go kick off the chat. So
Trigger.
yes, so what say you? What say you? And people give you your honest opinion. If you say yes, if you say no, we have no problem because I don't oppose to it, but I would have put others in the team as well. You get me? Not maybe out, not taking out Whisper, but I would have took out other players and put the guy that we just talked about. You get me?
Yeah,
So I
Robert.
have no
Yeah.
problem with it. All right. So what say you?
Yeah, I think I have no problem with his inclusion in the squad. I think it's clear that the guy has a very high ceiling for the future, and it can be debated whether his start with the national team shouldn't be coming so early. But at the end of the day, it's a player that clearly the coach has time for because
Mm-hmm.
he's going back for him again. So I would say it would be best for his development to be a part of any kind of development squad. Now, the next cut, if he makes the next cut, that would be another discussion. But I have no problem with him being in this
All right.
provisional squad, none at all.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fan of mine, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Demo says, everyone can't get called up. We will always have players missing. Yes, we know. That's why we're having the conversation, Demo. But you can't say we have to have the conversation because we start the conversation, Demo. So you can't just get to that part. Everybody can't get called up because if other people evaluate something and know that one is at a further development and he does not get called, we have to ask the question, Demo. All right. Yes. So I think it's justified for what people says. Gray get a raw deal every time. I don't know why this very good way better than everyone in the JPL by 100 times. I think he's very, very good. Flemings Club say it's a bad investment and he's just not good enough, but he's good enough to make Jamaica 60-man pool. So before we get, let we close out the Whisper one, but we keep Flemings right here, all right? Because Flemings is going to be the next one that I knew people would have come with. I knew it's like the person
there's a few of them in there that I think people are gonna be talking about. But we can go to Flemings first.
All right. But let me really see you
After
say
close
yes.
off Whisper. Yeah.
Let me close up Whisper because I don't want
Yeah.
to unnecessary argument.
Yeah.
Real Suit says yes. Chris Smith said Whisper not playing any football. Why should he be in the pool? Very good question right there. But we're gonna discuss it after because I want to make the show organized so we don't have to turn it into any argument. All right. Yes, because I'm already sleeping, so I'm short, very short fuse. That's why Jason running the show. Whisper got picked based on being linked to Chelsea and has a big potential. Know yourself. I'm not impressed for Flemings there. Okay, I was just dealing with the Whisper thing. Fan of mine had said Whisper over Green Stewart, but not for the final squad. All right, JD, I am wondering if Andre Gray is injured because his exclusion don't make any sense. He never made other squads also when he's scoring and others ain't. Others even ain't playing. So it was very tough. All right, Whisper looked better than Anderson, Stewart, and in the Trinidad game, way more dangerous in my opinion. So some people said they don't want him in the squad and this provisional, and some says yes. So I love the reasoning. All right, so at least yes. So let we deal with Flemings now. Let we deal with Flemings now. Yes, because this is something that we need to talk about. But guys, we have 160 here. Please get the likes up over 150 so we can get the visibility here. It make no sense you don't hit the like button because you know the quality that we do present. So So let we go to 250 likes on this video. We are only going to, if we do it 1 hour, let me do 2 hours and give it 250 likes. That is how it sets. 250 likes. All right. So, anyways, Jason, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Flemings.
So
Flemings. Let me detail it for people. Flemings. He was bought for second division team in France. Obviously, I can't pronounce the French name, so I'm not going to pretend. Yes, so it was bought for the team, and then Toulouse, that is right. I think I
yeah,
pronounced it right. And
Toulouse, and then he got loaned to
they got
Samoa
upgraded.
North.
No, but you have to say they got upgraded. So that
Right.
means
Sorry.
the
Yes.
competition got higher. So with that now they went on and bought a few more
They
wingers.
invested. Yes.
They
Mm-hmm.
invested, and then when they looked at it, because he never got any game, he got a run on time. He got a run on time in that time, so they never looked at him as the first choice. And then when they brought in the Morocco young sensation, he came in and he started to score, and he never stopped scoring. And then they brought him down to the second tier, and then even down to the second tier. To be honest, what I'm seeing from him, the first game, he looked like he would have done something well. But I don't know if it's confidence or whatever the problem, but it just wither away.
Yeah.
So
Tail off. Yeah.
how would he make this team when he's pretty much not playing football, like not in the headspace? He's fighting hard in life to get on a pitch and get really up to speed. So how would he make a list like this? That is a
Um.
good question to ask.
Yeah. It is. It is. The only thing that I could think is um based on him doing something in the last couple times he played for Jamaica, scoring a goal against Suriname and playing pretty well in the other game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there are other players in the team or in the pool that haven't really been playing games for their club either. So I guess that's not really something that would stop the coach from picking players. So for those reasons, maybe that's why he's there. Now, me personally, I wouldn't have him in my pool, but I can't really say that I don't understand how he's there because he has played for Jamaica before. He's one of the few that actually is contracted to a top five league. You know, and I use the word contracted on purpose because I didn't say playing because I don't really play a lot. But he is contracted there at the end of the day. So, you know, he got himself to that league. Hasn't really done anything in that league, but he's there. And so when you look at the pool of Jamaica's players, I don't know if there's another one that plays in France, not to my knowledge at least. So, you know, for those reasons, I could see how he makes the provisional squad. No, I would be shocked if he's actually on the plane to the Gold Cup, but I could understand why he's there. Maybe the coach just wants to see him in training, thinking, okay, this guy is on the books of Toulouse. Like, let me actually see him play because maybe Hallgrimson has never seen him actually in person. So maybe he just
Okay.
wants to see him for himself.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I could have lamented on it still, but I rather not because I think we give it a good amount of airtime right there. Because the time is running. Already 20 minutes. Stefan says, JD, I will wait for the final 23. All right, fair enough. But these questions that we are asking, it's still valid because we have more players than this, and this is showing how much players we do have to select from. You get me? Dr. Joyful said, JD, wow, go on, big up yourself, man. I'm here, man. I'm here. Gray, a good baller, but we looking to the future. Gray is getting old, my general, but you have players there just as old as Gray on the listing, so we can't say how would you approach this Jason, with Gray is getting older because you have players there the same age, if not older than him, or maybe the same age.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can't have, you know, 50 people Gray's age in the thing, but there's always a balance like life. So you can have a few players that are a little more experienced or older. Um, you know, that's fine. I think if the player is good enough, the player is good enough. You know what I mean? So I don't believe that we shouldn't be picking a player because he's over the age of 30, whatever, if he can still do a job. Because at the end of the day, results is what will get us places. You know, not anything else. We need to get results. So who are the players that can give us the best results? That's all I care about.
Okay. I think Flemings is there to fill space. Danica says, "Oh God." Claudia, Claudia. Claudia says, blessings, JD and crew. Thanks very much for being here, Claudia. Siobhan
Big
Brown
up,
said,
Claudia.
JD, it's a good squad, but I'm not excited. The midfield is weak. What is Flemings doing there? We're going to get to, we're just trying to get everyone's comments in on it because Jason might have questions and I might have questions. So don't worry yourself. We're going to go back over it and we're going to pick out things. Don't worry yourself, man. Oh my God. Why King is in the team and he's not good. Okay, that is coming from Island Cart. God, oh Lord. Duras, how you doing, man? Hope all is well. Yeah, man, with the boat, man, with the boat, man. The Jason come on with him Wi-Fi when I work, and he must say my host. Me not understand how you can be host and you not have Wi-Fi. Ricardo Thomas make the 60? Um, well, just hold on. Football global, big up yourself. And Bygrave is old. All right. This you see it. Once you put those things in, guys, you're going to have man there
We'll
calculating for
start play
themselves.
age wars now. Age wars. Let's look at birth dates of every.
All right, and XLR8 says Ravel and Whisper was not playing any football are included. I don't see the issue with Flemings on the list as well. So XLR, good point. We're not gonna
Yeah,
argue it.
XLR. That's the same reason why I brought that up in my assessment because you know you can't have criteria for one player and you don't use it for the other player. So you have to think of all those things.
Yes, so that is very good. Man of Valor says Gray might not fit in the coach system because since the new coach comes, he's only played one match. Okay,
All
fair
right,
enough.
hold on,
He played
JD.
it
Can
much.
I please talk to? I just want to talk to Manavala about that one statement. There was a game in Jamaica when we played Trinidad in the stadium, and for the entire game, we never really had a strike like a big pivot striker on the field. And as soon as Stewart came in the game, we got like two entries that we couldn't do the whole game just because the man was on the field. So I don't believe that statement about the coach's system and not fitting. I don't believe that is the reason.
All right, Carl H said, JD, there are many players that plays number 9 better than Gray. On this list, no.
Are in the world.
In the world, yes, but Carl H, no. I don't think you can pick one player on this list that plays number 9 better than Gray. You're going to say they are comparable. Even Michael Antonio is comparable to the way they play number 9. I think he holds up better than everybody on the list. And that, once you have an attribute and he does the rest of them well, he's a good finisher. You have to give him respect. No, I think Carl H. If you said he's slow than the rest, or something else you don't like about him, I could understand. But Gray is talented. But no problem. All right. I want you to spend a little extra time on the new baller. We are gonna do that. We're gonna do that soon. And we saw a super chat came in, so we are going to read the super chat. But in the future, what we're gonna do, we're gonna organize super chats and read it at one point. All right, just to make sure it's don't stop the flow of the show. Tyree is Maggie is at the top of the waiting list.
Yo, I swear, brain drain.
What he means here? What he means?
No matter what, he'll find a way to say Tyreek McGee name. Even if he said, look, if this is a 60-man squad, Tyreek McGee is 61, right, brain drain?
All right. So let me get into it then. Let me go through the list now and go for what they said. They said we should look at the new invitees. Them. All right. So let me go through the list from the bottom of the list to the top. Devon Williams at Colorado Springs, Switchbacks FC United States. Lamar Walker from Portmore United, and we have Ricardo Thomas from Dumley Olin, Jamali Waite from Pittsburgh. Then we have Trevante Stewart from Mount Pleasant, Delano Splat, which is a new personnel coming in. So let me start with him right there. Jason Delano Splat added to the squad. What say you?
Delano Splat, need to see more of him. I want to actually see him get a chance to play with like the more mainline team, just to see how he fits in with them. Because I think, I have only really seen him play. Apart from seeing him play like PL2 matches, I've only seen him play for Jamaica in the Trinidad games. So, I don't think that's really a fair assessment of any player. Those two games were a little bit weird. So,
Mm-hmm.
I am interested to see, especially in the like build-up games before the Jordans and those games. I think midfield is the area where we need to be looking at players and seeing who can help us, because we need to stop trying to put pieces that don't really fit in spots on the field in that spot. So we need to try
Mm-hmm.
to find some midfielders. So I think of all these players in this list, he's one of the ones that really need some game time with the team to see if he can actually fit in and make the jump now, or we use him down the line a little bit further, let him wait some more. But he's one I would be looking at and penciling and saying, all right, what you're going to show me in these Jordan and Qatar game, let me see you get a chance with the more A team for some extended minutes.
I would piggyback off that and say yes. I think knowing that we don't have natural deep line midfielders in the team, and he's a young one. Just like all persons would be excited for other young talents to come in. I heard that he was I heard and knew that he was always um an wonder kid coming up for years now. I do believe that if Jamaica could get that position started, it would have been great. So if you give him opportunity in these in not the Gold Cup, but these friendly matches, I do believe that would be a good opportunity to really kickstart things. So if he shines, he gets the nod, and if he doesn't, you put him back on the list and give him the instruction to go back to his club to work on things. So I do agree that he deserved to be here based on what I saw from him and what the team requires. Not just what I saw from him, because it's different when you have other persons in the position and then you're gonna pick him. That's a little bit different from me. So for me, but you don't have anybody there and you go and pick him. That makes more sense. So I
Yeah.
can see the sense in this one. All right. Kemar Roof, he's not foot fit, so I'm not expecting here. Um, You
Yeah,
talk.
that was a surprising one. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but when I saw his name, I was very surprised. I mean, he's a player who pretty much has been injured the entire season.
Hmm.
So I was surprised to see him there, to be honest.
All right. So yeah, and I'm very much surprised. So I don't know why oh he's going to make it. But I think as what people said, they just put names on papers and stuff. All right. Then you have Dujan Whisper Richards. For me, I don't know. I don't know how this works. To be honest, for me, I don't know. A 23 might be a stretch for you to pick him for a 23, based on the fact that the positions that he do play, it's kind of the better positions for Jamaica. You understand me? Yeah, in terms of players selection. And now you have Paris and Cephas knocking on the door, and I do find a whisper behind both Paris and Cephas at this point. So I wouldn't have a placement for him as a wing forward because Jamal Lowe, Leon Bailey, Bobby Reed are all players ahead of him. But you have the next two right there. So for me, Whisper would have been sixth on the list in terms of wingers, and then in terms of strikers now, Shamar Nicholson, Mikel Antonio is ahead of him, and maybe people would complain, but Corey Burke would have been ahead of him right now as to what the coach requires. And if you put Kemaroof would have been ahead of him as well. So for me, I don't think he would have made my 23, but it's the same thing I would say with Splat. But Splat would have had a bigger chance because of the position
Needs of the
of
team.
the
Yeah.
position. If I had other players, I wouldn't put Splat in the team either. But the reason why I would have put him in the team would have to be because of we don't have much players when it comes on to midfield. But I would put him on the list to show that yes, you are a part of Jamaica team and stuff. And if a striker gets injured and you can bring him, you do bring him. I have no problem. I have no objections to that. I hope people understand where I'm coming from. Yes, because I'm trying to give you all the necessary informations around it. All right. So Alvas Powell on the list. I talked about him a few times. Back end of last season, he was doing good at his club, but a lot of these players, Brown does well at his club, and when they come to the national team, they don't necessarily keep up the same level. So, what you have to say about Alvas Powell and people inside the chat? What you have to say about Alvas Powell?
Um, Alvas Powell is a surprising one for me. I mean, as you said, he did find some form towards the end of last season in the MLS and has carried it into this season, starting pretty much most of the games. But when you look at that position in particular, if he's going to be deployed as a right back, we have so many options now that I don't really see the need for his inclusion. I don't really see the need for it, because if you just call the names of the right backs that are even in this pool.
But Jason, I'm not going to cut you now. I'm going to let you finish. But look how the chat is very disrespectful. The man no need for the on the list. Do you realize that Alvas Powell is playing at a higher level than Whisper, and you guys just said free Whisper, but with a throwaway Alvas Powell, and the man a play football every day, at a higher level, just the same, and playing better than what Whisper doing because Whisper not doing anything, But you are saying that one should make the team with a free one and with a throwaway an next man. Not even we don't even want to have a conversation. People, we have to go to the
No,
listen.
but JD, I think why there's such a big disconnect with the whole I think why there's such a big disconnect with the whole Whisper thing is like, okay, he has a pre-contract with Chelsea. Now,
Mm-hmm.
to some people that hear that, they don't hear anything but the word Chelsea,
Oh yes, yes.
right? Now, other people that can
No,
like be a little wait, no, other
Jason,
people that
control this
can
screen.
go through
Control it.
they can go through the
Because
chat.
I never said I want Alvas Paul in the team. We are just going through the list. Jesus God. I've never said I don't people I don't want Alvas Paul in the team. Please. We are going through the players. Yeah.
And just so everybody know my take on Alvas Powell. My only concern is not really needed in the position that he plays, right? So we have Wes Harding in the squad, we have Lembikisa in the squad, we have Javane Brown in the squad, we have Joel Latibo there in the squad. That's four right backs right there already. And I don't call Alvas Powell name yet, so I don't understand the need we could have used this slot for another midfielder that we need to see because we need midfielders. So that's my only issue with Alvas' inclusion is like the position he plays. There's clearly 4 players in there better than him. So, I don't see how he gets in there. That's the only thing because we need midfielders.
I'm begging you, please, guys. We are gonna do 2 hours. Just let us go through it, no man. Let us give it all. We just give
I'm
attention.
never even call Deshaun Bernard name. Thank you in the chat who said that.
Yes, yes. All right. So Juro said, JD, that's 2 different positions. I understand. But I'm just saying the way how we react to one man is like him no need to exist. Rick says whisper talent. So Alvas Powell is no talent according to Rick.
No,
All
but
right.
what? Yeah, just the whole thing about some people just hear the word Chelsea and other people hear pre-contract and everything else in the sentence, and it made them say, okay, let's wait until he gets there and see what level they put him at, where he play, what's gonna happen. But people
Mhm.
just hear Chelsea with whisper, and it's like whisper is
And
going to Chelsea.
I
So
totally understand.
so you have to
But I
understand some people not
yes.
listening to the entire statement. They're just hearing the club
Yes.
Chelsea. That's all.
I totally understand it, and it's okay for them to be excited. But the fact that they are just beating me for talking about Alva spoiler, so I'm all right. Let me pass. I'm very sorry, people. I never tried to mention Alva spoiler. It
Yeah.
just came out. I'm very sorry. All right.
Alvas Powell came up because he's actually on the list, guys. Not just because we want to talk about him, okay?
And Brendan said Butler's Etihad Stadium. What? Guys, we have 216 people in the house. Please do get us to 200 likes as fast as possible. Helps with the algorithm, and we can get to cover it faster. All right. Arden says the person that chose Albus should be given a job. Oh God. All right. Let leave the guy alone because we don't know if the guy was watching this stream and see the things. All right. People have
Yeah,
family as well. Just like how you
Alvas,
guys
no,
told me that
no,
you have family.
Alvas. Yeah, man, Alvas, no disrespect if you watch the stream. Just know, say, a
It's
lot
just the
of the
fans,
fans in
Albus.
Jamaica upset. They think that you stole out a game. And I don't think he did it on purpose, but that is what the people then feel, all right? So, no disrespect.
All right, all right. So, all right. You forget beat for that JD. Oh my God, you know what? All right. Rick, all right. So let me just give Art of Love, massive respect, man. Thanks very much for passing through. Say bless up, bro. Flemings and Alva shouldn't be in that pool at all. An international journalist stated that Flemings was not up to standard, but they had said it a long time. Art of Love. It's just Jamaican people never wanted to listen. I have reported it 1 year ago when the coach said it, but they said the coach missing in translation. The excuse, Jason, is it's not normal. But we are gonna save that for our next day. All right. All right. So, anyways, Richie, Ryan, massive respect. Thanks for being here. And then we have Joe Grind. Joe Grind, change the picture of the man. Change the picture of Joe Grind. All right. All right. So, anyways, let me move up the ladder. So we passed
Lord.
Alvas Paul right here. Demario Phillips. Demario Phillips of Mount Pleasant. You have time for that inclusion?
Uh, we need to look at midfielders, but I'm not sure if Demario Phillips is where we need to be looking right now. I mean, tidy player and thing, but you see, he plays kind of deep in midfield, and for me, I don't know if he has the type of presence that you might need to play that role that Hal Grimson wants in that role. So I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure about his inclusion, to be totally honest with you. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the ugly quota word is at play. Like there just has to be a certain amount of JPL players just to make sure that because the narrative is if you don't put them in the team, what they're playing for, which I don't understand because there's players that leave Jamaica and go play overseas and they never play for Jamaica yet. So they should have a different mentality than just trying to make the national team from the JPL. But that's another conversation for another day. But for me, puzzling. Maybe the only thing I can think of, there are midfielders that I know are eligible to play for Jamaica, but I also know that they don't have any paperwork. So maybe JFF was just being safe and not putting on any people that don't have paperwork, and then they can't play anyway, even if they want to pick them. So maybe that is why the Mario Phillips is there. But I think there must have been perhaps some under 20 players, or maybe you go with some youth, but I don't know. I know that Demario Phillips is not old, but I just don't know if the role that we're going to need him to play, he's actually able to play the role. That's my one concern with Phillips.
All right, so we have Kaim Paris one batch up. Kaim Paris just got some game time, um, and showcased that he has something in the tank. You're okay with that, right? Because for me, I think based on others making the team, Kaim Paris definitely need to be in the team based on the others. All right, and
Yeah,
I think he's actually up there in our pool. To be honest.
yeah. I think Kareem Paris would be one looking to impress in the games before, just to cement a spot in the 23. He seems to be included in most of the games recently, even if he doesn't get a lot of minutes. Obviously the coach seen something in him, and um, even though he got his start at the end of the season, pretty much when like the league was kind of finished, at least the coach saw it fit to start him in a game. So hopefully this preseason he can kick on. But I think if he can get some time in these games before the Gold Cup, he's one that would be wanting to impress to really get in there.
Okay. All right. And someone just mentioned Tyrese Jimenez. Tyrese Jimenez going to, let me just add Tyrese Jimenez for a minute tonight. So Tyrese Jimenez, um, knowing that others on this list not playing, Jimenez went overseas, got game time in and the Belgian league, and are even got considered. You don't think he's worthy enough to make this list as well? So maybe in the exclusion, I would say Jimenez would be one of those personnels. Or you think that both full defensive and attack we have enough presence there for him not to be selected?
Well, I mean, it depends, because I think if it's in a defensive role, I think I wouldn't put him in there. But as far as attackers, maybe you give him a shout, because if the coach wants to play 4-4-2, which sometimes he does, he could be somebody in that role on the right side. At least you could test and see what he looks like over there, because
Yeah.
he's going to give you the work rate that the coach wants, you're going to get. And with him being over in Belgium for the past, what is it, 6 months or so,
Yes. Yes.
it'd be a player that you would want to see what he's learning, what has he learned, so
Yes.
I
I do
wouldn't be
agree.
surprised if I saw him in there, but he's not there. So.
Yeah, I would have took out one of the JPL players and put him in it. I be
Yeah.
honest. I would have done that because I think Tyreek Jimenez have much more to offer than what people realized. Like from what he's learning. You get me? Because remember, some people go in a fantasy, but he's in a reality settings in a good league, doing things. So I think if people catch up with them and realize how hard it is to make these teams, they would have realized how much improvements these guys are making. Obviously, he's not in the full team. It was like a fringe opportunity he got, but he got the opportunity nonetheless. How much other Jamaican barn guys can go there and get? I don't. I'm very. I would be struggling to see pick one Jamaican guy that can actually leave, go there, and get an opportunity. To be honest, I'm very, very struggle. So I would be very struggling. So I'm telling you
Yeah,
guys,
because even
you should
though
watch it.
even though Shamar went there and played, it was after getting developed somewhere else in
Yes,
Europe. So that's a little bit of a difference. So you're right.
yes. So we have to
And
give
then
it a
and then
Tariq Jimenez some
JD and then JD, we're wondering, should Zimenis be there or whatever. If you go up one more name, there's a name there that
credit.
I
We're
don't
gonna get.
understand.
We are gonna get to it. That's why I'm saying I would have took out one of those players and put Jimenez in it because
Yeah.
you can't reward people for failure. I think you have to reward them. No disrespect to anybody else, but I would want to reward people for doing something good because Tyrese Jimenez, I think he has done something good. You get me? And he's doing. You want to have. I think he has the attitude of what you want Jamaican professionals to have. So for that reason and to what he had actually achieved, I would have given him the opportunity right there because that would have set the standard of people that you truly want in the team. You understand me? And what you expect. The modern professional, the hard-working personnel, and actually at a high level. So that's why I would go there. Oshie and Staple, Arborview. Um, you said that you're okay with that one, right?
No, when I said that.
You said this is one of them that you're not 100% happy with.
Yeah, no, I don't understand this one. I think there had to have been like a provision to say we're gonna put, 8 or 7 local players in this list. Because I don't understand. Like we have so many people in the list that are right backs, and this young man is a right back. So, uh, like it be like if you're going to include players from a certain league just because you think it's beneficial to the development or whatever, at least make it players that might actually have a chance to make the team based on where they play, the position they play, or like a need that we have. So put 7 midfielder from JPL in it then, because we need a midfielder. Like don't just put 7 guys that none of them do have a chance to make it, but we're going to put them in there anyway.
Yeah, because you don't see Staple making no defensive position.
No, how can he
No,
make the
no,
defensive
I
positions?
know
How?
because you're saying Alvas Powell him can't make nothing, and you're saying centre backs
Right.
can't make nothing, so he can't make it. Yes, I do agree. I
No.
do agree. All right, so Adrian Mariappa getting older. Salford City still bossing it in a decent team. Mariappa, what say you guys inside the chat? Mariappa, you think he's still there? That you would call him up?
Um, Boy. All right, look, Mariappa is definitely past his best. There's no arguing that. But if you look at the centre back options that we actually have to use in the Gold Cup, I think Mariappa is still in the top level of those people. Like you look at Pinnock, obviously he stands above. Damian Lowe, obviously always there, does his work, obviously has things that we would like him to work on a little bit more, but I think he's actually improved in the rush category, for me at least. And then after that now, who is the next person? If it's not Mariappa, then you're talking what? Richard King?
Yeah.
Uh, But to me, there are enough names now with the flexibility of the new recruits that I see in the team when it comes to Deshaun Bernard and it comes to Joel Latibodier, Wes Harding. These are players that can play either centre back or right back.
Mm-hmm,
So I
mm-hmm.
think I think that's where Hallgrimson is probably going to be looking to close out the centre back options, because I think Pinnock and Lowe pretty much will be on the plane to the Gold Cup, and I think the rest of the CB and the CB slots are to be filled. So it's just a matter of, does the coach prefer to have a player that just can only play centre back, or does he like to have players that can play multiple spots in the back line? Because if he does, then I think Latibodier and Deshaun Bernard would be on the plane as well.
Okay, JF, I work with who have passport. Okay, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. No problem. That's fair. Then we have Lambakisa. Before we get into it, Lambakisa played in the Mexico game. He played in the Trinidad game. You think that he did enough to cement himself? Because remember, we just never called Tyler Roberts, right? So and then we call Lambakisa when both of them in the same development. Obviously, Lambakisa jumped ahead and go into the Premier League and played in the Premier League and never really looked out of place, to be honest. Yes, and when he came to Jamaica, he stepped it up the next notch. So people in the comment section, you think that Lambakisa would make like he's the top young talent that we have now, like the one that is at a premium to say that he is the one that has to make the main national starting level. You think he reaches that level?
Uh, I think he's right on the cusp. Um, Definitely in terms of like the last time we saw him in Jamaica colors. Like I don't think people understand the impact that he had on that game. Like Mexico literally was
Chucky
like
Lozano.
their plan was to give Chucky the ball and have him terrorize Brown, and they literally had to change the game plan when the guy came on the field. So, like when you can do it at that level in a big game like that, that meant something to Mexico and Jamaica. And there's no bigger game in Concacaf than Mexico in Mexico. And he came on the field and literally shut down their first plan of attack. So you have to respect the kid. Right now, I think the key for him is just consistency, and that will come with him getting game time. So hopefully, he gets a lot of opportunities in the games before the Gold Cup. And I keep saying that, but the coach really is gonna have to look at these players in these games before this Gold Cup. to really hone in on his 11 and his first substitutions and thing, because we actually have some stuff to work with, JD. I mean, the midfield is still a little light, but I do like some of the additions around the back line and some of the attacking options, especially. So, yeah, looking forward to the coach picking out the best players out of it.
All right, so guys, as you come in, make sure to smash the like button. Keep smashing the like button and get us up to 250, as what we said. We have 250 people here, so if you hit the like button, we are at our target. We are going to try and do the 2 hours that we told you guys. All right, so we are at Kemar Lawrence, but we're going to skip Kemar Lawrence for now. Really suited Lati Badir gonna start over him. So knowing that he had 3 games for Jamaica, and he was impressive in 2 of them, and as you said, in one of the main game, would you take Latibodir straight around and start him over him? And how much of a factor you put on people coming in the first game?
Uh, I I think I think it's gonna be tough, right? Because you don't want to feel like you're just chopping and changing every time. But I think at the end of the day, the reason why you go out and you pay a coach, the type of money that we're paying this coach, is for evaluation, right? So if the coach trains with these guys in Austria in this camp and plays games with these guys, I trust him to pick the player that should start in the game. No, and I don't think that he would start Lembikisa just because he had 3 games before Latibodir. I think he would start Lembikisa because he thinks Lembikisa is just going to do the job better on the day, So I don't think I think I could see Latibodir starting if he did better than him in the camps leading up to the game, and I wouldn't be mad at that. That's okay for me.
All right, so and Latibodir, what do you think about him? Oh, impressive you guys are on Latibodir joining Jamaica.
I think Latibodir has the potential to be like a game-changing player for Jamaica. I think that when it comes down to like composure under pressure as a defender or a defensive player, Latibodir is up there with any of these players that you see. Um, uh, like you know, I think that he's really close probably to a move to like a team like a Brighton or someone in the Premier League if he can't get Swansea up, because they're always like around that promotion area but not quite getting there. But I think he's a great player. I think he's somebody that just maybe timing didn't work out for him at the bigger club early in his career. But I think he's a player that I could see fitting into like Pep system, if he had maybe not had some troubles with injuries and stuff of that nature, because he has that type of football IQ. And I think in CONCACAF, I could actually see him being a potential solution to that CDM issue that we're having.
I do agree with you. I think he's a revolutionary defender that would come to Jamaica. Like he would bring something different from what all styles that Jamaica ever played in its history. Because his composure, his passing range, and his technical ability as a centre back. Um, each and Pinnock has qualities, but I think Latibodir has a better technical ability than every centre back who ever played for Jamaica in history. Because I think he's actually a midfield player. I honestly believe so. So I want to see him express himself a lot more because he's a super talent. He was a part of England's team. He was a part of the Man City team coming through. Obviously, injuries, as you know, and you don't get time. Football is very much criminal. You get me? So you don't get time. And those top level teams, you get even less time. So he just never got the opportunity to really sell himself. And when you go down a level, the football changes. You have to be a bit more physical. But he still retains his ability to be technical, and he's very, very skilled. I'm telling you, maybe he's a skilless player, will be on Jamaica team if he's picked. And he's a defender, and he might just be the skilless player. So look out for him. And I'm not talking about dribble and salad and pile people. I'm talking skill with your brain. He knows where to get around you and them stuff. They're in dangerous position when you think you're boxing him in. Like persons like how we struggle to play out of the triangle press majority of the time. Yeah, these are the players that I want to get out of that triangle press and start plays for Jamaica. So if Jamaica can get him on the right foot, he would be revolutionary for Jamaica. That's the type of player he is with the education side. Him and Ethan Pinnock in in the same team, my goodness, that would be impressive. So I have high rating for that player. And that shows you the quality of Jamaica, the selection that Jamaica has to their disposal. So let me move on to Kemar Lawrence. Kemar Lawrence. Kemar
Kemar
Lawrence.
Lawrence, actually, if you follow the MLS at all, having a bit of a resurgence in like the last year or so.
Mm-hmm,
Really playing a lot of games for his club Minnesota. When you look at the options again, because look, I'm not biased towards any player. I just think of it as like somebody that run a team would think, right? So I'm thinking of positions. So if I'm looking at my positions now, left back is where Kemar Lawrence will be playing most of the time. And you have Amari Bell, you have Greg Lee, and I am okay with a third player in a provisional squad for a position, right? So unless there's another left back there, you could say at this level, Luke Badley Morgan does tend to play left back more than actual centre back. So maybe that's another player that they're looking at in this left back role as well. So there's about 4 left backs in the pool. And I don't have no issue with Kemar Lawrence being one of them. Um, Again, I know the JFF basically is picking this team working off of who they know to have their documents. Because if there are some players that I have in my mind that I will remain without saying their names because I think that does take us down a path that don't make any sense.
mm-hmm,
But there are players out there that I think could move him out of this list. But for what we have currently, I have no issue because he has been a good servant for us over the years, score a big goal for us in Gold Cups and stuff. So, having him around the team and just seeing what he has again, the coach clearly used him in Argentina. Or not Argentina. Where did Kamar Lawrence play? In Mexico. Sorry, he came on
He
in
just played
Mexico.
in Mexico and came
Right.
in
So
like a deep,
so he's bringing
deep,
him
yeah.
right. He actually used him like further up the pitch in like a left midfieldish role or left midfield type of role. So maybe he saw something there as well and wants to see it again. And again, he's somebody that's playing, holding on a contract, professional. So I have no issue with him being there.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. Um, Lambert and Knight King. So let me start with King. We just look at all of those persons. King came and burst on the scene, as what Mr. Richards would say for Manchester City. Yes, he burst on the scene. So King burst on the scene, got a man of the match performance against Costa
Cause
Rica. Uh,
yeah,
but from then, I saw him in numerous tournaments, and he's still. I saw people say that he's highly talented, but me and my evaluation, which I think I deem to get some credit because I've predicted a lot of people and showcased a lot, evaluate a lot of people, and they came through for Jamaica when no one expected it. So I am still questioning the real quality of this player. Like I don't have the I still want to see a lot more from King. To be honest, you get me?
yeah. I think there's maybe two things that I see him do that I could say maybe people say, okay, he could have potential. He has a decent ability with the longer pass, right? Like a diagonal pass. And he has a pretty decent ability, like, dribbling out of defense. But that can be a detriment to your team at times to be dribbling out of your defense. But he does go past players pretty decently. And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
why some people have said, maybe his true role down the road is a CDM. I don't agree with that, but I've heard that said before. But I think with Richard King, I don't believe that he's that great of an actual defender, right? And that's what he plays. So, like in other words, I don't see him reading the game very well. I don't see him anticipating plays quickly enough. So I think he has a lot of developing left to do before he's even in my team. Um, but I don't know. I guess that's a big debate. And it's so funny how like the range of what people think of our players is so wide. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because some people really think King like is a nailed on, have to be in every squad.
Yeah.
But I don't see it that
I
way. I
don't
don't
see
see
that.
it
I
that
don't
way.
see that at all. I think with the inclusion of Latibodir, Wes Harding coming back, I think he goes to be Latibodir driving in midfield, Ethan Pinnock driving midfield more than anybody else. But you know what? He's very much successful. I don't even know that he drove in midfield, and he's creating from midfield as well. And that's something that he does more than anybody else in this entire team. Damian Lowe drives in midfield as well. Obviously, sometimes he loses the ball, but he has the recovery pace more than anybody else to return and get the ball. So you get me. So that driving midfield thing to say that that is his X factor. The other guys them do it better. We just talk about
Yeah,
Lati here. They do it better and with different skill set, and their footballing intelligence is way more superior because they are they're already in their prime and the level that they're playing at. So I would say that you have to put him down for the future as well. I think he's still down for the future for me.
yeah,
Because I'm not going to write him off, but I'm going to say he's done for the future at this point. But I don't see King as one of the main centre backs in for Jamaica. I think he's done for the future, you know? And
yeah.
it's
I think
troublesome. It's troublesome. What before? It's troublesome for the future as well because you have the Dishan Bernard them coming and
yeah.
the Latibody remain
That's
old.
that's literally what I was gonna say. Like, maybe 6 months ago, I could understand people saying, okay, he must be included. We saw it in the World Cup qualifiers in Costa Rica, rah rah rah. I could understand, but with the inclusion of some of these guys playing this championship level football, um, with the education that they have and the ability that they have, because I don't want to make it seem like these guys just automatically get in because they were educated in certain place, even though that's a main factor. These guys are actually playing and exhibiting the education that they receive on the pitch. You can actually see it in practice and theory. So it's not just about the education, but they actually do it on the field as well. And you guys, some of you guys will see, because I know a lot of people may not watch the championship and they just don't really think it's that great of a level. But trust me, the teams that fell out of the Premier League this year, it's going to be hard for them to come back next year right to the Premier League. That league is not an easy league.
All right, so I would agree there. So but guys, remember the conversation is not about to bring down any player. We're just giving
No,
our views on it, and at the same time showing you how much quality players Jamaica do have, and also how much of a challenge it will be for the U20, the 23 squad to be selected. All right, so we are gonna move up to big up Marlon. Big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Massive respect. All right. Then we are going to move to one of our older players coming back, Michael Hector. Michael Hector, how you feel about Michael Hector? And people inside the squad, inside the chat, let me know how you feel about Michael Hector. But definitely get likes up on the video, people. We are here for an hour. Let we get to 200, no, man. Let we go to the 250, because if you know one, we still break down things and act really, how we should act. Just do the right thing, no, man. Get the likes up, subscribe, share. Yeah, man. So, yeah, Michael Hector. What you say about
well,
Michael Hector?
I'm going to be honest. When the Nations League last game was going to play, my 23-man squad had Hector in it, right? Because it's a position and a part of the field. I know he plays centre back now by trade, but we are so light in the CDM position that I would predominantly be putting him in there to see if he can still do a job for me there at this point in time. Because we need to get away from playing players out of position in that role. I think it's one of the reasons why we haven't really gotten some results in some of the latest matches, just because we're playing guys out of position in that deeper midfield role. So Hector is a player that I would want to see if he still has the legs required to play the role, and put him in there. I know. Obviously, we want to have the balance of the future and everything. So you have your Splat in there, you have your Hector in there, and you see who can do the job now. But I would be wanting to see Hector again in the team right now, because he's back playing again. Um, Definitely steadied the ship for Charlton since he been there. So I would say Hector deserve it, and I'm glad to see him back. And we'll see if he has enough to make the 23.
All right, I can't go against anything there. I think Hector deserve back a shot. Worst off, you have King on the list there. No disrespect to him, but I'm just saying, if you put all of them in the same pool and you put them at a realistic level and not just the fairy tale level, I think you're gonna realize that Hector is a very good footballer when you bring him in. You get me? Because sometimes we just jumped the evaluation. I think we had gone bad over the last 3 years and evaluating a lot of players, and I think Hector was one of those players that we actually we never evaluate properly. I can clearly say that. You get me? But now we have better scouts, better people that analyze football. Then I think he will get his fair shot. So if he deserves to make it, he will make it right there. Where's Arden? Where's Arden? Where's
Yes,
Arden?
happy about Wes Harding. I believe we need to do some kind of like investigation into like how he's been missing this whole time. Like I never understood the dropping of him. I think he was just like badly beaten for the Panama game for whatever reason. He was just the person that people text it on for that game and says him caused everything. They tried in a little way to do it to Pinnock as well for that game, but because Pinnock plays where he plays and in the Premier League, you can't really burn out Pinnock again. It's not really that popular to do. So Harding is the one that get the beating from that game, and I'm just glad to see him back because I think he has a role to play. I think he can play the centre back role or the right back role, and he can give you a little flexibility. Maybe when we have the lead in a game and you want to solidify that right side of defense, he could be somebody to slot in there. So, I think he's a player that I would have time for, and I want to see him, you know, playing with this new coach and see what the new coach thinks of him.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. Let me Daniel Green. But let me stay Hutchinson, Omari Hutchinson. That's one of
Omari,
the big names on the list. Omari Hutchinson. How the fans feel about Omari Hutchinson's inclusion on this one?
well, I know there's one person in the football space in Jamaica that might be surprised because I heard from this person that Hutchinson don't want to play for Jamaica none at all. So I don't
Okay.
know. But anyway, I am just happy to see him here because I think Omari Hutchinson, like how you similarly said about Latibo there, like if he can say to us, if he can play for us for 3 games, then I would say he's the future of our attacking football, basically, because the kid is talented. I beat everybody that is involved with him for making him leave Arsenal. So you and me argue over this and go to Chelsea. But I think the kid is really, really talented. And I think he's just like really close to like breaking through at the highest level of football. You can see that he's like ready. He's ready to just bust through and get the game. So yeah.
Marcelo said solids. Says he's dodging the cap. Oh my God. All right. So for me, Omari Hutchinson, I would put him down and say if you have one player or two players for the future for Jamaica, at this point, what you're gonna look at it has to be hands down um, Lembekisa, that's growing rapid, and Omar Hutchinson. Those would have been the two players that you would have looked at. We have a lot more players that we can look at for the future, but at present, what they're doing, like people could just go out and get them for 5 million, 6 million, and put them in a different system anywhere in the world, and they fit in. So I think Omar Hutchinson and Lembekisa, those are the two main options right now as the two main futuristic players we have that we can say they are already at the top level and they have been accepted at the top level. Yes, Boys Clark, we're still waiting on Boys Clark because he's down a level lower and he's still trying to break in that team. Obviously, he did well in his youth stage, but definitely the other guys are slightly ahead. But Boys Clark have the talent. But I said I'm just gonna pick two, and the two is Lembekisa and Hutchins at this point. Yes, by far they are the two first. We have to put them. He is the future. He is one of the future. I'm not going to put Hutchinson ahead of Lembekisa because I thought the things that Lembekisa did at this age. Remember, said the man go up against Gakpo and he went up against Chucky Lozano. Those are two of the most trickiest wide players in the world of football. And the guy stood up and held his own against them, pretty much changed the way they played football. So just for him to do that at a young age, you don't have no, not even Omar Hutchinson, I never saw did something. So, oh, like you look at it and say, damn, that is a standout performance. Nobody have that as yet. As young kids that we have, don't do what Lambekisi did, even included Hutchinson. Hutchinson is just rated by everybody, and he did good things. But what Lambekisi did, we need to put some respect on the difficulties, the difficulty of what he did. Lambekisi is different, brother. So if we are put Hutchinson there as the future right now, he has to be a part of the future. He went up against Liverpool and had to come off of half time. No, 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 no. Just Demo, at 2 games he played against Liverpool. So stop twisting the narrative, Demo. You're twisting the narrative. It's two
No,
matches.
Demo is saying that like in one of the games he did
Yeah, one of the
extremely
games he
well,
was so
but in the
tired.
other one he had to get
No,
subbed off.
Demo close off one of the games them. The game that he did well, Demo don't talk about. It's the other game. We fought with him the whole time. I know Demo's
No,
behavior.
no, but JD, did you just mention the game he had that you played well in? That's what you did, right?
Yes, that's what I was talking about with Gakpo. The next one, he never get to Gakpo them. So I don't know what Demo come here talking about. Demo is fighting against the man because he did it against Liverpool. And him don't want nobody talk about Liverpool. Nobody can't talk about Liverpool. Liverpool is the greatest. All right, then. No problem. I am putting this kid in the same bracket as Hutchinson, and I can say they are the immediate future. You have other kids that is there where the whispers, the guy from Fulham, they are there, but they are not where these kids are. They are already doing things that big players doing now. You understand me? So they are the immediate future, and the others are coming up as well. You get me? Yes. So Damara, I agree. One of the big inclusion right here. Oh, happy you are to see this guy in.
Yeah, so I guess the third passport, the charm, because it's about 28 passport the Murray Gray have now. Yeah, no, and you know, it's funny that you mentioned that. JD, my officer this. I was gonna say the only reason I think, well, obviously I'm biased too, I know that's a reason. But the other reason is that you were just talking about the one game he played well, and he just wanted to balance it with the other games.
No, 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 but remember, we were just trying to explain what the guy did well. That's why we mentioned the 2 games,
Okay,
the
so there was
highlight
no
games. So we
right.
never
There was
need to mention the next game.
okay,
Dima
okay.
just walk to a Liverpool. Him can't even see Jamaica when he must see Liverpool. The man different, you know. Oh my days.
Ah, yeah, but no, I am happy that the Mara Gray is finally on an actual list because it's enough lists in my brain that I come up with for the past year and a half that have the Mara Gray in it because some mans want to feed me unicorn meat and all kind of thing meat and things we not eat. You understand? And
Mm-hmm.
finally he's on the list. Now I just pray that this means something because this list is just a provisional list that don't must
Yes,
mean them
yes.
have everything them need. So I'm just going to pray that they wouldn't make this list, unless everything sort out. So that is my prayer. Anybody who answer prayers out there, that is my prayers.
All right, thank you, music uploader. I love that because I told people don't sleep on South Korea, so I hope they could win it. Win it, music uploader. Thank you very much for that. All right,
What's the
happy
score,
for
music
great.
uploader?
We will get it. We will get it soon. We will get it soon. All right. Big up yourself. Through Azad. Yes. For a young Jamaican Lambekisa, to do what he do is great. That's all I'm saying. If I am telling you, if Lambekisa ever open one eyeball on Jamaica style when he was 0 years old, we would have said he's legendary. For a little kid like that, believe me, they would have plastered his names on the ground in the sand. You get me? Yes, that's how talented he would have been. I'm telling you, man. Anyway, so Damar Gray, I think Damar Gray is a game changer towards Jamaica football for more than one reason. Hear me out. The first reason is people don't know how influential these guys are on joining Jamaica. You get me? Mikel Antonio, one of the biggest personnel that influences, because he's one of the biggest influences in England. So you see, when once he joined, it helps others to feel it out, because what you don't understand, with these guys overseas, they are not personnel that's on road. On the road, and they go through football networks. That's how they communicate. So when they heard that Mikel Antonio playing, Bobby Reed scoring a big super goal, that's how they know, okay, damn, the man am go to Jamaica then. Jamaica the thing. Look, that's why I think we got through with Ethan Pinnock and those guys, because Ethan Pinnock could have waited. I heard him have a conversation about Ivan Toney, and I can see he made his statement to made it clear that, okay, yeah, I went to Jamaica, but he knew that he had a shot to actually make England team too as well, and he could have stood out as Ivan Toney. And I can tell you, he has more guaranteed shot from last year to make England team and stay in England team than Ivan Toney. And I knew that. And I knew that. And I thought that he knew that as well too. But the fact and the pull of Mikel Antonio and those guys, they are comfortable to come here, because tell you what, England now win a World Cup. Jamaica now win a World Cup either, but Jamaica have the possible chance to go there, and he could be the man to change history. You understand me?
Not
So
only
it's
not
more on the
only that,
line.
not only that England not winning, but also like there's been a lot of players when you look at their international career for England that them just get the cap and then them put them
No
back on
one
the
cap.
shelf. Yeah, so like these players, like you say, is a network of all of them, and the black network even smaller. You understand? So these guys talk to each other. So it's a narrative that come up now. So that they're gonna think about that and think twice, because they could try to build something, as what Antonio say whenever he talk about Jamaica.
Hmm.
Like I came because I wanted to build something. I want to be a part
Yes.
of something from the ground up, build it, and no say yes. Look at what we built. Look at what we left for Jamaica. So that is a pull for players, that any player that you know really care about the legacy and things of that nature, they're going to strongly consider playing for Jamaica if they can.
Yes, and that's what I was trying to say. With the added person of Andre Gray, you mean the Damari Gray, he's a he's a next level pull as well in the newer era, because Mikel Antonio is a little bit older and a more laid back one. Like my boy from Watford, he's that type of person. He's cool, but he's that type of person, more like a more Basta figure. But Damari Gray is more of the more cool, silkier one that can deal with 20 years old and those guys. So they have different polls. So to see him on this list, I think this could be a breakthrough point of Jamaicans coming, the overseas guys them coming, and at of higher quality at a younger age. He could be one of them that people can talk to, and we have a lot of them in Everton. I've posted a few of them as well, and this could be a starting point for him to open a floodgate of a lot of them want to choose
Domino, yeah,
Jamaica.
domino effect.
Yes. So that is the importance. Shakpo, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Massive respect, man. Thanks everyone hitting the like button. I love the
Big up,
conversation.
Shaq Paul. Big up.
Yeah, even though I told you to do something for 50 years and I can't hear from you just the same, but that is Shakpo. So that is Shakpo. Ian Free. Don't know much about him. I need to do more research on him before I can give a proper evaluation on him. So what say you? And that's good
Yeah,
for me not to know
young,
much about him and they are picking him.
yeah,
You know?
young player from out of the Miami Academy. Really, not playing so much this year in the MLS. Played in the one cup game that they had this year. So I think this is just one for the future. One that clearly the scouting network has identified as a potential with his development to be some year in like the next 4 to 5 years or what have you. I believe
Okay.
he's only 20 or 21 years old. So he's a
Mhm.
really young central defender. And one that I think that this is probably one that the analytics kind of pointed to, because His trajectory does look good. Looks like he's gonna be a professional for years to come. But I think this is definitely a future-based pick because currently, I mean, he's not really playing enough for me to be making any kind of team or roster. But I think it's just one of those where, we're looking at trying to balance the age groups of the players in the team, and he's just a younger player that we want to give a look. So I would say that's mainly what's going on with this one here because I don't see him being able to make the actual 23 when it's all said and done.
All right, so we have Kemar Foster and Junior Flemings. We talk about that Fitzroy Cummins. So Ronaldo Cephas.
Yeah, Ronaldo Cephas.
Everyone talked about for a few times that they do believe that he needs to be in the team. So what people in the chat says, you think that Cephas deserve to be get a call up? Let me know.
Yeah, I think Cephas has done enough since his move to Macedonia to be at least in a provisional team for sure. Definitely been very consistent since he's been there, and scoring goals. I believe he made the team of the season in his league. So he's doing his thing over there, and too many times when the players actually do well and do well enough to leave, the JFF kind of forget about those set of players. It's like they run right back to put JPL players in the team and then don't pick the players that have surpassed the JPL level. So that's what's strange to me about some of the selections. Like, if you're gonna have a quote unquote quota, why are we leaving out guys that are actually Jamaicans that have left and bettered themselves? Like we should
So
be.
it's a quote local. It's a
It's
quote
a it's a
local.
it's a double quota. It's like I don't know what you call that, but it's a it's a land quota. It's a land quota.
Okay. All right. So we have Connor Boyce Clark. I am very shocked to see him because apparently he never wanted. I don't know what story about Connor Boyce Clark, which I thought that he was always up to play for Jamaica because he came in and he was one of the
Yeah,
standout captain
all of a
type person.
sudden he don't like Jamaica and he not answering phone calls from Jamaica and all these things. But I don't know where that came from. But of course he's in this list because that was probably a bag of rubbish and not the truth. So the guy was the captain of our under 20 team, and that under 20 team, besides the women, have been the closest of any team to make it to a World Cup. So, you
Yes,
know,
one game
I
away.
think we should put some respect on this kid. Every time I've seen him wear our colors, he has been tremendous. So, you know, the future is bright for him, and you can see that the fan base at his club is like dying for him to play. Like when he played those last games, like all the comments were like, "Yo, Boyce Clark beast, Boyce Clark the future, boys." Like they love him over there. So I think we have another gem in the goalkeeping position for the future, and some will argue that he's not as far away from potentially being the starter than
Oh
some people
God.
think, but that is a whole other argument for another day, I think. But I'm just happy to see him in the squad and put to bed all of the stuff I was hearing about, the relationship is gone bad between him and the JFF and all these things. So just happy to see him there.
I can't wait until these guys fully get capped for Jamaica. So we can't hear these stories, We just know it's gonna. I can't wait.
No,
So
but
I
JD,
do agree.
the sad part though, JD, is like
Mhm.
even after they're capped, it is
You're gonna
still
hear that
somehow it
they're
is
not
still
committed.
somehow it is still somehow a story. Like the guy actually forfeit his chance to play for anybody else already, and you're
Mhm.
still doubting things about the guy. Like what? Anyway, don't make
All
no
right.
sense.
So Dima said man must start over Blake. All right. So Dima already saying should start over Blake. All right. So Amari Bell before we get to Deshaun Bernard. Amari Bell.
All right.
If the first time I saw this player, I think he was very talented. I think he was a two-sided fullback, and I do believe that he was the best player for Jamaica, best left back for Jamaica from the first day I saw him. I said it, me and Marlon fight every day here, about him. Marlon said he was talented, but he still said he would have given Taxi the nod. But this guy had a good World Cup. Obviously, the deflection goal that he had nothing to do with went in the goal, and that's all you want. I don't. Why is it Jamaican fans make up stories to hate people? Because that's what they told me. They never see the deflected goal, and they only see a registered own goal and don't know how it comes in, and never know that the guy played a very good tournament and showcased that he deserved to be here. So Amari Bell, I think, is one of the most talented one. Let me put this in it as well, because a lot of people moved the goalposts. This man was doubted as not committed to Jamaica. Then I thought it was on this or that sport. They had an interview with him and they asked him, um, they said you never took the call up, and he said he never turned down a call up. They never called him. No one followed it up, and that's why sometimes I don't feel comfortable. I think that people want it to stay that way of people not committed, because the man literally said he was never called, and then proved that he was never called, and no one tried to kill it to bed. They tried to keep it running. You get me? So he had to go in the Star. He had to go in the Observer, and told Jamaica people that, listen to me, man, I want to be a part of this team in both competitions, and I'm available. So Jason, answer your question and Amari Bell, but how comfortable you feel if a person have to go out and literally I try to tell Jamaican people say I'm available.
It don't make me feel comfortable, but at least it set a precedent now that maybe other players will not do the same damn thing, because you have to get ahead of the people, because Jamaica is a big narrative place, right? Like, it's a race to put out whichever narrative suit you the best. So you're gonna hear one corner, I gotta tell you this story, and the story always I gonna lean towards the man them now want to play for we. And then you're gonna hear our next corner, I tell you some other story where will lead to our next place. So I am just happy that Amari Bell realized the toxicity of the space and said, listen, before anybody start talk about me I gonna tell you how me feel. And it's sad that him have to do that, but at least him do it. And I hope that other players see that and say, yo, you know what? I'm gonna do that too, because it can never be a situation where the fans of Jamaica think that I don't want to play. I want people to know I want to play. And it's sad, but I'm glad him do it.
All right. Yeah, because I saw his face when they asked him if he like why he never turn up. He never
Yeah,
looked
he
pleased.
was
Like he must say,
no,
what do you mean? We never get call, you know?
exactly.
Yeah, so that
Exactly.
was very bad. But Amari Bell is talented enough to be a part of
And
this
wasn't
team.
there was a similar issue with Bobby Reed for one of those times as
Yes,
well
man.
when he was in the crowd. Yeah,
Bobby
yeah,
Reed
yeah, yeah.
and
And
Johnson, they came to the
Johnson,
game. They
yeah,
came to the
yeah.
game, and people
Mm-hmm.
asked them, and they said, "No, nobody never call us."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They made sure to go in front of the camera and say,
Right,
listen, nobody never call us. So
right.
it's like these guys are getting offended because they are hearing, and that's why we have to be careful of what we do say about these guys, because they know that people lying on them. And it's like we are waiting for them to just come. They have to come out in front of our face. But what happened? When was that interview? The big deal, and it's a big deal, and we know everything to know them interviewer. They're on the internet. They're literally on it. Just type in Amari Bell, and you go on this or that sports, and you hear him literally tell you time his own mouth. And then for the Bobby Reed, wait again. I have to send you that one. I will look for that one, the big deal, and send it to you. They answered. They said they never got called, and they asked back Paul at the time, and
Yeah,
Paul
it
switched
was
his
like
mouth
after
and
a
said,
game, right?
and Paul switched his mouth and said he was just trying out players. After saying the man them not committed, you switch them out and say you're trying out players. I wrote down everything, guys. I wrote down everything. You understand me? Yes. Where is that document JD have up? Okay, this on the screen? Yes. JD, this will never change. No, it has to change because that's the reason why we are here. It has to change. So that's why we keep everything, and that's why we don't say certain things. Deshaun Bernard, big deal, and I will look for them in my time, but not tonight. I will look for it and give you tomorrow, no problem. Deshaun Bernard, a next player, the first time he said he wanted to play for Jamaica, they asked Paul all about it, and Paul started talking about commitment. I know some. I don't know. You're born in England, so why are you telling me about what? No, Jason, let's give it take because I don't want to talk about this commitment issue so much. Remember, guys, the reason why I do remember it is because I am the one had to deal with all of those things. I had to be the one deal with it, and I had to write down everything, so I know it. You get me? I know it, so I had to deal with it. Brian Burke said, "You're correct, JD. That's when I lost all respect for Paul. All right, so people realize I documented everything, man. Everything I written down, man. Everything, man. You get me?
Yeah, that Paul Hall interview did sound like a scripted thing. Like it never even sound like something where him come up with him. It's like them just give him a paper and say, "Yo, make sure you say these 7 words in this press conference some kind of way," because it says certain words when we never really hear him talk about before that, about commitment and all these other things. So that was a strange one, and I remember it. Yes, it was sad.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Deshaun Bernard.
people heard that, and I remember people hearing that and doubling down and being like, "Yo, we told you
You
that they
see it?
don't want
You
to
see it?
play and all
Him
these
a
things."
Englishman and him a stand up against them. I mean, I say, yes, that's
Right.
the reason why they told him to do it because him a Englishman and him want it to get done. Why you don't look at two side of the story? You understand?
When
But they never
you're
listen.
no, well, see, the thing is, if it's one thing JFF good at, they're masters at selling your foolishness. So the man them just figure out a way for trick your brain because they must say, "Yo, this Englishman would have never say nothing bad about them, man." Yeah. And so if he must say it, it must be true, you know. But
Hmm.
anyway, it
Yeah, man.
laugh
Let
it
we,
because
let, let we,
if the man them come, you don't have to question it, brother. They came, they're here. They came to Jamaica and play the game. So that is enough for me.
yeah. So Deshaun Bernard, what you say about him? At this point, where you would put him on the scale?
I think Deshaun Bernard has the potential to be a starter for Jamaica right now. I think if he's not starting, he's definitely like the first option off the bench. Um, I think the only thing I guess would be going against him is like, there is a slight maybe learning curve coming into Concacaf as a defender because it's a little bit different how the referees officiate the game at times. But I think his background in the championship will help him because that's a tough league. Um, and obviously he's been developed at one of the better clubs in England. So he's one that I would say definitely. I'm just anxious to see him wear the colors, wear the shirt. I want to see what he looks like on the pitch. One thing that I will say that is promising about this squad is the number of additions at a younger age in that like defensive side of the field. A lot of times whenever we get new players in, it seems to always be 17 wingers coming in. But
Hmm.
this one I do see some variation and I do see it weighted a little more towards the defense, which I like. So I think that is one of the more promising things about this squad that I saw, like the Bernard, the Latibodier, the even Frey, just younger defensive players, because at some point you're gonna have to start to turn over the team, and that's one of the things we always said about Jamaica's teams. Like, where is the progression? Where is the next set gonna come from? So I like that at least this provisional team there is some difference in the ages, and you could actually see like a younger core maybe start to form for even the future cycle. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
All right. So big up Chris Smith and big up Jamaican Guna. Guys, we are 50 away from 200 likes. So please get it up there for us before we close the show. We are doing it, we are closing on 2 hours. So 27 more minutes for 50. And we are at 250 people here. So I don't know what to tell you. 50 likes should not be the crime. The reason why we ask for likes because that's what gives the video push. All right. So if you're here having a good time, I think that's the best way to repay. We don't ask you for any money. pretty much don't want any money, to be honest. So if you like money, we are perfectly fine with that one. You understand me? Yes, because we're here
Rich.
gathering our information to give it to you, and when you check it, you see that it's facts. You understand me? So at least appreciate um I was going to say common sense, but common sense, the command. But so let me leave that part. Anyways, Jason. So yeah, so let me leave that part. So we can't talk about Leon Bailey. Let we go right here. Run up and down, man. Colin Anderson got picked in this list. People, what say you, Colin Anderson? My baller still, I like his passion and his hard work drive that he believes in, you know. Yeah, but
Yeah, Colin Anderson.
yeah, out of all
You
the
know,
local players, them, I think you would have to pick him if that's the um. Big up yourself, Alger. Thanks for being here. Um, you disagree? I don't know what you disagree about. Um,
yeah, I don't think. I think Colin Anderson. He's an industrial, hardworking guy. You know, you can't take that away from him. But I mean, at some point, you have to be able to like control the ball well at this level, and I just
mhm,
don't see the touch required in him. Um, I just don't see. You know, he just. Look, he gets himself into position. You cannot take that away from him. But you know, if a ball is falling to my striker in the last minute of the game, you know, I don't know if I want Colin Anderson to have the chance to put it in the goal because he just not technical enough. He's not clinical enough. You know, he scores a lot of goals for the team he's in. So I guess that don't even sound like what I just said,
mhm,
but he scores goals, right? So I guess you have
mhm.
to say yes, he scores goals. But I'm telling you, watching the guy play a game, it's like, man, I don't really see how he could get to that level that we need him to get to. But you know, let's see. Some you might have a different opinion from me, but I don't really see it
I
in the player.
I never went into his technical ability. I never went there. I just said the fact that he's a hard worker and stuff, and due to the fact that we have other persons, because remember, it's a process of elimination. If you're gonna pick on the JPL, it's JPL level we are gonna be talking about, and we have other people on the JPL team, JPL list here. And I'm saying that he's one of the best out of majority of them. So why would I not consider putting him on the list? I think he deserves to be there based on the fact that they pick other people.
Well, I think to be honest with you, for me, like my personal eye test
Hmm.
of the JPL strikers and stuff, I would probably say like if I had to put a three in no order, like a top three strikers that I've seen in JPL, I would have I would have Bygrave in there. I would have um Trevante Stewart in there, and I'd probably have Siobhan Walsh in there. That would probably be my top three.
Okay,
But
okay.
but but that's just my top three, right? That's just from what I've seen. I think that the guy Walsh is not as fast as any of the other guys, but he's very like technical, hold up the ball well, and I think for the like the reasons why you like Trevante Stewart in that role, I think if you watch the guy Walsh play, you would say the same things about him. The ball tend to stick when you get it, and he bring the other people into play very well, and he's clinical when you get the chance. So I think the Welsh guy have a I don't know how old he is. I think he's a little older than what I thought he was. But I actually like how he played this season, towards the end, especially.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Then we have B Douglas saying he's not as technical as yet. He's still young. Maybe he's gonna be a late bloomer. So why is it we can look at other persons and said, oh, they are gonna be for the future, so we give them an opportunity like King, and then for him we're not saying that. What happen if he gets an opportunity? Because remember he was poor on a lot of things, and then he rose to this level. So what
Yeah.
what what stop him from reaching to a next level the next season, because remember he was not doing this 2 seasons ago. So what happened if he's gonna take a next gear to the next season? Just to answer to B Douglas, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, B. Douglas, I think, is saying that he's not as technical as yet, but he might be a late bloomer, which is true. But I think there's a when there comes a point when you're developing in football that like the next step is a lot harder than the last few steps you just took. And at some point you have to have a certain like base base level of a certain talent to be able to reach a certain level of the talent, right? So if you're starting out not so technical, I don't think you can reach the highest level of technicality just from hard work. A part of it is going to be like what was built into you from the beginning, you know, understand? So in that sense, I don't like when you discuss a player's ceiling, I don't see his ceiling being so high compared to some other guys in the JPL might be. That's just me personally still.
Jamaican Guna, Clark Harris, they said he does not have any passport. So that's why. Obviously, we know that no JPL player is better than Clark Harris. We know that for a fact. So we would never even go into that realm. I think much of our best strikers might not be better than him either. If you
Yeah,
just
no,
want a
if
pure goal scorer, you get me?
the only reason I never brought him up as a clear omission is because I don't know him to have his papers sorted for sure.
Yeah,
So I
that's yeah.
wasn't gonna go down that road of like I want um what's a player? I want how come Rico Lewis not in the team? How come
Yeah,
Rico
yeah.
Henry? I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not gonna go down that
that
road.
does.
Like,
You sound like one particular person just a while ago. You
well,
said.
I don't know who I sound like, but I just don't. I'm not gonna go down that road at all. I
All right.
rather focus on the ones that actually could have made it and see why they were omitted.
Yeah, we think we have a good time there. Jason, you have your questions, and because we are running out of time, we covered everything. 20 more minutes, guys. Drop your questions and fast, so we can chop it up very fast. Get it up, get the likes up, share and subscribe. And let me see if we can jump over the 200 on the like side. All right, yeah, man. Big league, Leng. I love mix up, some man.
Well, actually a lot of the questions I had have been asking as we went along, but
Okay,
there was
okay, okay.
one that I wasn't really clear on you for sure, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
really want it to become a war, but I just want to know your clear like opinion on this. Um, do you think that um okay, what do you put Richard's inclusion in this provisional squad down to more? Do you put it more down to like the coach himself, or do you put it more down to like are there other factors that could make him make a squad other than just like football? Like, does that make sense how I asked that question? Kind of.
Yeah, it makes sense because yeah, it's a double answer. You can get for me. What you're saying basically then, if his talents is unmatched with the other guys, and that's how he gets selected, or you think he gets selected um, based on other things. Yeah, I think I don't think he gets selected on is not his talent level at this point. I think he gets selected because I've listened to the coach. The coach says two things. The coach said he wants to get close to the culture. When he came in, Whisper was the culture. Be real. I think he was the culture at the time. And the easier way to get that done and to shush down people, give him the opportunity. When he gave him the opportunity, he said, yes, I heard about him and I wanted to see him for myself. And then after that, he said he wanted to see him with big players. So that is the next opportunity to invite him back to see him with big players. You get me? And then now, you're giving everybody from local an opportunity on the provisional list. You might feel like you need a few strikers, and at the same time you need to get closer to the fan the culture, because you're trying to learn. You want to see how people deal with things. So I think it's a combination of both. He has talent that could possibly reach worldwide level. I am not sure as yet because he has not proven it on worldwide level. I can't lie to you. That would have been a lie. He has not proven it as yet. But I do believe that it's a combination of both. The man just want to learn the culture, and a lot, and he has potential as well. So you have to put the potential in it as well, and he's getting the chance to see the player do things. You get me? So maybe he's seeing things that he could evaluate because he has the education to evaluate on the spot as well. So I think it's a combination of a lot of things. Him coming in, pick him the first time because of the nice, as what he said, out of his own mouth, not me. And then from there now, he believes that the kid might have some potential, and then every single situation he's going to pick a JPL player. If you're going to pick a JPL player, I am going to pick him with the JPL player. So
JPL players as well. Yeah.
I don't think it's a comparative quality with the overseas big playing players now like Leon Bailey, Michael Antonio. I don't see it as that. I see it
Hmm.
as other people on the list, so he has to be on the list because he's comparative quality with those on the list, and he has the
Yeah.
upside.
Yeah. I think when you factor in the upside, what could potentially happen for him. One thing that I thought you might have brought up in the answer that I was thinking, um, is there does it factor in at all that perhaps it will help him with his potential move, because that you have to be accumulating
Oh,
these things and things
okay.
of
Oh,
that nature.
ooh, my
Like,
goodness. Look at where you're going. I never wanted to go that place, because I don't want people that is going
and
to
I
make.
don't want and I don't want to think it's down to that, but I mean, the coach is not
Okay,
the
okay,
coach is
okay. So
someone who would know.
what you're talking about that is he's having a pending move, and in order to
Yeah.
make the pending move, it requires a few things for persons listening in Jamaica. If you're 17 years old and you're not from England, in order to get into England, it requires high level league points.
Hmm.
Continent points. He has never played professional football, so he can't amass that. The only way to amass that is to either have game time in your national team to pass the quota right there, or you have the team picked you and play you a certain amount of game, but you are down below the top 50. But at this point, we are not down below the top 50, so he would have to be playing in a numerous amount of games in order to get that, not just a fraction of the games. So maybe that's what you're alluding towards, Jason.
Yeah, I was wondering if that is something that um could look. I wouldn't want that to be a factor, but I'm just trying to think of all the possible reasons and scenarios and things,
I I
because
I I
look,
can't. I don't know.
you have
I
to
think
think of that. You have to think of that as well, because it could be something that everybody would want the kid to get to go where he's meant to go, and if a way to do that is this, then But again, that's not really the way to be looking at things.
One second. Juras commenting. Juras, I think you lost the plot on what we're talking about. We're not talking about a person signing. A person signing at 18 years old, Juras. In England, if you're going to do what Mr. Butler said he's going to do, it's not going to be possible. Oh, you think it is. You don't just go on a paper and sign. You get me? Even if you're 18 years old, Juras. So I'm explaining something to you, which is the facts. Just listen and just go and research it for yourself. So I think Jason's question is valid. So I'm just telling him that I don't know. Um, that's how it goes, Juras. Even Shamar at that time, when Shamar would have gone to England, he would have needed the accumulative points to go there. And Shamar Nicholson was scoring a billion goals in Europe, in Belgium, one of the highest registered leagues. Juras. Juras, listen to me now. When we're talking, I want to be able to come here in the reggae boy space and people take feelings out of conversation because we're talking on facts, and I think it's a valid question. So if you ask it, I have to answer it, Juras. You get me? So age not have nothing to do with it. You could have be 495. If you don't have enough accumulative points, you're not going nowhere. You have to have a next way, a route into it. And I think that is valid, by my brother. That's valid. But I don't know. What I would do now, I would see if I would have to wait to see if all of the games, Jason, they
Hmm.
try to put him on the field,
Yeah.
even if it's one
um
second, and he has no He has no impact on the game, and they try to put him on just to make sure he makes the starting 11. No, him not the starting level, just make the feel. Then I would say, okay, this looks like you're just trying to give him captain. You get me? But
Right.
for now, I would hold my um I would keep myself reserved because I don't know. But if I do see something like that, that means that's what they brought him there for. And what I have to ask you, but then, do you see it as a problem if that's the situation? Juras, but I'm not talking about what his agent says. I know I have papers here because I'm doing similar work as well as his agent. So I'm not I don't need to ask his agent. I'm just telling about the things them. And his agent says the same thing. Um his agent says the same thing as me, but you just never watch those videos. But and that's one of the reasons why his agent keeps fighting like that, Juras. You get me? That's why his agent kind of fights so much to get his players in the team, because it would have been one of the little things that he would have killed off, like the difficulty of getting his players locations. That's all. So but we don't have to argue. We can have a good conversation. So Jason, would you have a problem? Because we finish it off right there, because this
Yeah,
don't go
look,
anywhere to people because you can't
yeah,
be here. You know.
yeah, we're getting to the point where people going to soon start fight. So this is a good stream so far. Let's keep it that way. But yeah, look, for me, it's tough, man, because for me to say that that wouldn't be a problem for me would be disingenuous on my part, because I'm here talking about we shouldn't have quota and we shouldn't do these things and we should pick on merit only and this and that and the third. And then I'm gonna turn around and say that we could make a exception for Whisper because we need him to get the points to go to Chelsea. Like that would be me being disingenuous, to be honest. And I'm not a disingenuous person. So I do have a problem with it. If he's getting
Okay.
caps just for points, then that is wrong. If the coach come out and look me in the camera and look the fans in the camera and say, I had my camps, and the one Richards deserves to be in my 23, and I'm gonna play him as an impact player in the tournament. Then I have to accept what the coach said. That's how him feel. That a feel opinion. Him are the coach. Simple. But if him can't look at me straight and tell me that, and him have to look around the corner there to tell me
Mm-hmm.
that,
You wouldn't be
then me
pleased
know
about
say
it.
something else. Exactly. Exactly.
All right, let me be realistic now, people. Because remember, these are all Jamaican barns. So Cephas playing, right? Cephas playing, and Cephas is playing out of his mind. Obviously, it's not one of the highest profile league. Um, you have Paris moved to a good quality team, and not top quality team. And then now they would have gotten dropped out because you don't have enough space for the wing forwards or the wingers to put him in the team. Then I could see people getting upset and looking at it a different way. You understand me? But if I don't know what to say because I never expected this question. Yeah. So I don't know how to approach it. I know a lot of people would not be pleased. And if I look at it and we are going in to win this tournament, I wouldn't be pleased as well, because that would mean to me that you're not being serious. I would have to start questioning what are your motives, like what are your motives? Is it that you're looking for the future? Or you're doing it now? Because at one point you're saying you're doing it now, and then at next point your actions are proving to me that you're doing it for the future. Because obviously, if the player goes to the future, now, if the player goes to that place, he's going to improve for the future. So it would have helped Jamaica in the future as well, So I don't know. I don't know, It's a 60-man realist youth. We're having a conversation with realist youth. It's a conversation, and it's a valid question asked, and he's trying to cut it down to the 23. We had to talk about the 23 at some point. So he's just asking me about a main player, and I'm just giving you the answer. So readers youth, is it that when we come here, you want to bully us into what we talk about? Or this is on the feel really good when people can't talk? You're gonna get a lot of fake people in life if we can't talk. You understand me? And I can't deal with people if I can't talk. So I'm not gonna be happy to come here. if I can't talk about things that I do research on. You understand me? I would not be happy. And it seems like people want to bully you into what you can talk about. Like you
So what
can't
what
say
what so hold on. I think the way we just discussed that whole topic a while
it
ago,
was
I don't know
perfectly
how much
done.
more I don't know how much more measured and controlled in one the conversation. We don't diss anybody. We don't do anything bad to anybody. We just break down what we're talking about in a simple, easy to understand thing. And nobody could have heard that and say we're throwing word or doing anything. We're just literally stating facts and trying to break down what we think about it and how we would react if certain things happen. So people should be able to understand that and not get upset about anything whether it's happening a while ago.
I think it was a very good conversation, and we did 2 hours. I almost did complete the 2 hours that we said we wanted to. And people
Mm-hmm.
remember, guys, when they come on these platforms, I have never took it. No problem, readers, but three are coming off like, oh, this is a 60 man, but we have passed the 60 man, and we're going down into details. He had a question to ask, so I remember that he said he wanted to ask a question, but he said he had asked all of it, and he had one more. So all I'm saying is, guys, when I come on the stream, I honestly want to talk about something and learn things as well. I don't come here for fun. To be honest, obviously I enjoy myself coming here sometimes, but I don't come here to fun and entertainment. You have people that comes on the streams to entertainment, and that's how it becomes more disruptive. But this is about football, and this is about people's future, and this is about maybe the entire Jamaica's future. We talked about the kids the other day when we said that the crime and violence is so high. We getting certain amount of capitals in the country, and JFF disperse it properly. It could be a way to stop crime and violence inside the country. You understand me? So um, that question that he asked is valid, because if you know you need a 20 man and you're going to sacrifice one of the 20 men in order to get something else done, that does not really align to what you're saying. I think it opens a hole for people to ask the necessary question. You understand me? Yes. So that's okay. That's okay. No problem. um I'm not arguing about if Whisper should be in. It's just I'm not responding to Jason's question. Okay, okay. Okay, cool, cool, cool. But he's asking a valid question because he used to research a lot, so that's why I think he asked that. And that's like it catch me off guard. I have three more boys and girls looking how I deal this situation. I just love how they show me that love and that comfort me mostly. All right, take care, man, Mr. Richie, man. Hope all is well with you and the family, and keep on doing your best. Yes, man. But as what we said, guys, this stream was solely based on a listing. We had a lot of players on the listing, and as I said, I told you guys you're going to be upset about a lot of the players on the listing, and majority of them you saw on the listing, and you start asking all sort of questions. Don't ask me how I knew that this is exactly what would have happened. Um, yes. I'm not saying that Jason question isn't valid. Okay, okay. All right, fair enough, fair enough. Just tell me what you're saying then. Just write back what you're saying, Juras. Just write back what you're saying, and then I will answer it for you. All right. Then we have Rich Paul, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. So we have a lot of persons coming in. At the end, hopefully you guys are okay. As I said, smash the like button, share, and subscribe. We are a little bit off of 200. So please do smash the like button as you go. Yeah. JD, stop read to reply and read to understand. I am not a combative person. All right. JD is a double agent now. No, I'm not a double agent. I think I am. I am not interested, as though you think I'm interested, Mr. Dre. So you only can be a double agent when you're trying to seek something else. I stay away. I try to avoid these things, and people try to get to me, and I avoid not bringing out these information. I don't even pay it any mind. I just sit home and just do my life and just live my life. Yes, I already adjusted it, boss. Okay, laugh what you said that. What? Okay, okay, no problem. So I answered it. I answered it. Yes, so Jason, make a final point, sir. I guess you turn big host now. You turn superstar now. Yes, because
Yeah,
host.
well, look, people, first of all, I just want to say sorry for my constant movement around, Life has to go on. I
The
have things
worst
to
host
do,
on planet Earth.
my camera chipping out and turning off and all kind of things going on. But one thing you can't say about me is that I used Google at any point today in my chat.
Oh, guys, he cheated me. Look at this. Look at this. This man turn up in the end of the video. Give me no time to fact check if he used the Google at no point. You get me? Yes. Nikki English said, "Go 1-1, but more questions than answers. But Hector on this list, J FFJ, I've said nothing about the breakup. Okay, okay. He got away with this one, man. The Google, he got away with it, man. I'm telling you, man, you're not gonna get it again. Does the midfield raise any concern for you? Yes, yes, we talked about it. Ari vibes, yes, of course.
Yeah,
Um,
Ira Vibes. In this video, we did touch on the midfield and that's still a sore point for us. But the one thing that I did mention as far as the midfield goes, there are players here listed as defenders that I think have the capability to help us in the midfield roles. So I'm curious to see if any of these players do get the chance to play in those roles, namely Joel Latibodier for as one for sure that I think could help us in the CDM role if given a chance.
all right. All right. Daniel Green, in the 60 man. Daniel Green is on the paper. Yes, he's on the paper. Right there. Yes, he's on the paper. Guys, he's on the paper. Why didn't Javan East didn't get a call up? Coach Daniel 80. I don't know why he never got a call up. I would have to investigate that to see how it goes. But Javan East have been playing well in Costa Rica for the longest time.
Yes,
So if it's
one just
based
won
on
the trophy.
performance. If it's based on performance, he should be getting called. But maybe he, Daniel, Coach Daniel. I think Jamaica is a weird place. That is the honest answer I can give you. It's a weird place. The way we do things is not always because you saw me here trying to tiptoe around answering questions. You understand me? It is a weird place. You get me? I don't know how some of these people don't. Coach Daniel, I don't know how they do evaluate things because the first thing they told me, they don't have enough persons in the country to evaluate the talent, but yet still we are evaluating something. So it finished there. If you can't evaluate something but you're doing it, it tells me, and you honestly come to we and say you can't do it, but you're doing it. So I don't know how he did. He never got selected, Mr. Daniel. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So, Mr. Jason, finish up your point, sir, and I can go to my bed, you know?
Yeah, no, look, my last point is as soon as you get excited about something, you're waiting for the next thing. So, like most people in the chat now, I am anxiously awaiting how this cut down to 23. Because if we can have 2 hours worth of conversation over 60, I'm sorry for you when the 23 pick because we have to break that down into 3 days if we want to keep this at 2 hours. Because trust me, there's gonna be so much conversation and how this is the 23 and all these things.
I have a
So I
different
am just
ways.
waiting for that too.
I'm planning out a different way how to deal with that thing. But I'm kind of getting too, I'm getting too old over the last
No,
month.
but
So
but but one thing I want to say as we close this out, just respect everybody in the chat. I think for once today actually flowed pretty well. Even though people want to take it some places and things, it never got out of hand. And I think that is something that we can do in the future, guys. When we're discussing these teams and these selections, just keep it respectful. Everybody will have their opinion, but we can all discuss it. And
so,
at the end of
so
the
then
day, it's
why
a
was
vision.
it so respectful?
I will let the fans and the chat
Okay,
decide
okay, yes,
what the
because
reason for that
I know
is.
you are
I
that
don't know what the
egotistic.
actual
You
reason
understand
is,
me?
but
Yes, you're that egotistic.
today just seemed like it went a little bit, without as much fighting. You know what I mean? A nice stream. So Everybody
All
that
right, so
respect the
guys,
football
see,
conversation,
you know what?
thank
You
you.
tell him to just pay me for my channel and take it and I leave because he thinks that
No, no,
he's
no,
the
no,
one
no, no.
making the fights not
No,
starting.
no,
But you
no,
know
no,
what? I
no.
realize him and him friend Omzo, they are the ones starts fights. Yes. No, I understand. So the only way we don't have any fight is when him and him friend down there in a chat. Oh, where Omzo there? All
Yes,
right. So
Omzo stayed away. I told him today was a nice football related. We want to stay away from the wars. So, Omzo is in his corner.
one kick, Jimenez is not on the list. I don't know how. And I'm very much confused with his selection policy. You understand me? That's the whole thing. Jason is the reason why this was so smooth today. All right, no problem. People now have a good day. Take care for yourself and make sure you stay alive, realest youth. And then don't do something on the road. Bye bye.